Okay, let's start. I think now we can go ahead. So first of all, I think we have IBST and agriculture AET people joining us today. And since it's a common module, so I would like to introduce myself before starting this lecture. So I think if PT people, they know who I am, and actually I am Dr. Umesh Liyanakki from Department of Biosystems Technology, and I have completed my basic degree in University of Sri Jawaharlal about food science and technology, and then joined with my PhD is also food science and technology. And I have worked with more than 10 years in different industries, especially as a quality consultant for many tea industry factories in Sri Lanka. And also still I'm working as a consultant for national and international projects as a product development consultant and quality assurance consultant. So I hope I have some knowledge regarding the quality management. Therefore, I have started this course module for you all. And at the beginning, I would like to say that this is a very friendly discussion. Sometimes you may know, you all know what is quality, and you may have some experiences, and you have some questions. You will have some questions, and sometimes you call me and ask what I have to do. There are so many courses, diplomas in, as an example, in Sri Lanka Standard Institution, SLSI, they are conducting a quality management certificate course and a diploma. So how to select it? So do we need to do that? So likewise, there were so many questions. So today you can, today also you can ask me questions, and you can give you ideas regarding this lecture and the method of conducting this lecture. And you know, the FPT people, they know that I am very interesting on practical, not theory, but practical. So my question paper also based on practical scenarios and situations. So therefore, I would like to invite you all, please join me this lecture. And normally I know that these type of online lectures are so boring. It's difficult to listen and study. I know these things because I was a student before 10 years back in this same university. So I know how to the lectures, and the students, they are sometimes we can't understand English. So I know this is an issue. So I am trying my best to do this lecture attractively, and I invite you all, please join with this lecture actively. So if you have some questions, you can ask. If you have some ideas, you can present here. So do not think about the question paper. My question paper is very easy, and I will share the past papers with you all. So don't try to remember these things. Don't try to remember these words, and don't try to highlight. Don't try to note down the things that I am saying. So, but you need to pay your attention on this lecture and discussion. Then you can ask questions. Sometimes I will give, always I try to give practical examples, share my knowledge with you. So therefore, do not need to remember. So because I am sharing this presentation and video as well in the limit. So therefore, don't try to write write down all the things that I'm saying and I'm sharing. So please listen and write down, note down the special things only. Okay. So let me know the batch steps of AT and IBST. Hello.
Good morning, sir. So I am the batch rep of AET department. I am Dinesha Jivanti.
Very good. Thank you. And IBST?
Good morning, sir. I am the batch rep of IBST and Lakshita.
Lakshita, right.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I hope that Vimukti is the batch rep for change. FPT?
Yes, sir.
Still you. Okay. So shall we start now? I think we can start. I'm going to switch off the video now. Right. Okay. Here you can see a picture on this lecture, and always I try to maintain a theme for my lectures. But here, you know, the topic is principles of quality management. There are three main words: principles, quality, and management. You know principles. What is principle? What are the principles? And you know quality. You may heard the word several times. And you know management. So I'm going to explain these three words and the core of those three words. And this is a 2 credit course. And these are the learning outcomes. After completion of this course module, you will be able to describe and analyze the design, process designs and product techniques, and understand the principles of quality management. You know, quality management is very, very important. You may work after completion of this degree, you can enter for a company, for a government job, or maybe I always advise you to start your own business. So if you are going to start your own business or work with other companies or institutes, quality management is very important. Nothing in the industries, but when you're working in your home also, quality management is very important. And hazards, you know, we will discuss about hazards, how to identify hazards, biological, physical, and chemical, and also how to conduct HACCP, hazard analysis critical control point. What is that and how to conduct that one? And ISO standards sometimes we have to follow, especially in food and agriculture, you always have to follow these standards. And then IBST also related to these two course units. Because we know that IBST is related to food and agriculture, and they are going to develop some medicines and extracts they are going to handle. So therefore, quality is very important. In agriculture, people, you know that these days you are the critical population in this country. You always, the agriculture people, they talk in televisions and newspapers. You have very big trouble in the country. So how to manage these things? By using the international standards and some systems. So it is very important. And how to use these quality management systems in an industrial level. So we learn lots of theories in our university and in school. So where we apply those things? Do you have any experience? We learn Buddhism, we learn maths, we learn science. So how to apply these things? And in the university also, you know, principles of what do you call organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, physics. So where we are going to apply? And in this course module, definitely you have to apply. So if you have any question, any doubts, you can raise your hand and ask. So if not, you know my email address and mobile phone number. Then if you don't have, so I will share my contact details today. So you can ask. And most probably the students may ask their questions in the last week. So I am not ready to give answers in the last week. It means before the exam. So basically, you know, the lecturers, they don't have permission to answer your questions in the last week before the exam. But in our faculty, it is always happening, but I am not ready to give answers and clarifications regarding my lectures in the last week. And sometimes I can't remember these things because I am using different examples. So I can't remember those things at the end of this lecture. So therefore, you have to ask and get those things clear before the exam. And ability to analyze and communicate issues relevant to food processing technology and perform experiments. This is again very important, how to do the experiment. In your school times, you did some experiments, and your first year, you did some experiments. But in quality management, there are some experiments, sampling techniques, and some analysis. So you have to use these, follow these guidelines. And we are going to discuss these key areas in this lecture series. You can read these things. Actually, the introduction, first of all, we have to do the introduction and importance and advantages of quality management, how to plan process and scheduling, and how to control the processes. And hygienic plant designing, it is very important, and it's actually engineering part, and you may learn these things from your engineering lecturer, but I'm going to give you knowledge about some hygienic plant design. And quality management systems, especially for HACCP, and responsible national and international organizations and standards, they are very important. You know, ISO standards. So what is ISO? Can you remember what is ISO? Well, we will discuss. And risk analysis, how to analyze risk, it is important, and documentation. When it comes to quality management, the documentation and document control is very, very important. Sometimes in this year, you are going to complete your end of this year, you will engage with industrial training. So after joining, you can ask them to, they will, or maybe they will ask you to prepare these documents, like KCC plan, and how to fill, how to complete checklist they have. So you have to have a good idea regarding these quality documents. Now, here you can see, so this is actually very good sample in aircraft. So how to you can see two pilots here, and they are going to take off this aircraft. So you know that the aircraft, this industry is very critical and very high risk industry. So quality management is very important. So let's see how they manage their quality.
So it's time to start doing the checklists.
Okay.
Okay.
Here you can see the
So I'll take the safety inspection checks, and before start checklist down to the FMCCDU because we're still waiting for the performance.
Okie dokie. So, safety inspection checklist, services and shocks.
We're checked.
Checked. Maintenance status.
Checked. There's nothing wrong with the aircraft.
Battery.
On.
Electronic hydraulic pumps.
Are on.
Landing gear lever.
Is down.
And ship's library.
It's checked.
Okay.
So as you can see here now, what you do when you read checklist. Listen to what I'm saying, and she needs to verify that what I'm saying is actually correct, so I'm not rhyming the checklist. This is very important when you read checklists. Continue, please.
Okay, so before start, IOS mode selectors.
Now,
Gear pins.
we have 3 down here removed.
Light test.
It's checked.
Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Yaw damper.
Is on.
Nav transfer and display switches.
Normal and auto.
Fuel.
Fuel. So then I'm going to need to check the fuel from our.
Then again, and now I am going to ask a question from you. Okay, now you I think you have a very even you have a very small idea about quality management and why is it important. So now I am going to ask questions. First question goes to our girls. Here you can see 2 pictures. So if I give you a chance to select one out of these 2, this is for girls, not boys, right? If I give you a chance to select one out of these 2 pictures, what would be your selection, A or B? Give me your answers. No idea. Then I will ask these questions. Sanduni, BST 18023. Sanduni. Don't worry because we all are, you know, your friends are there. This is a very good chance to select one out of these 2. or you don't like to give your answer, then you can send as it's a message. To answer. Then for boys, let's see about boys. Then you have two pictures. Suppose you have two girls to select. For the best students, I am going to give you this gift. So what would be a selection? COD. C. All right, good. How about others? C. No comments for D, neither. Then girls, you can give your answers now. Not for girls, huh? Only for AB. Right? I think that B. Okay. B, A, B. So there are different answers. But according to my knowledge, I know the girls, they most probably they like to select Korean boys. But boys, they like to have a type of Indian girl. So I know, I don't know why is that, but the objective of this slide and of this question is to quality. So quality is very important, but based on different things. But here also you can see A, he's from Korean, and B, he's from India, C again from India, and D from Korea. But most boys, they like to select Indian girls according to these pictures. And the girls, for the past badges, they like, most of the girls, they like to have select A. But here there are some selections for B. So that's the nature of the societies. And here you can see some pictures again. The first picture you can see how did they market these things and what is the actual situation. And the B also, we have this experience when we are ordering from eBay or Alibaba. Then the advertisement is very good, but what we receive is it's totally different. Advertisement එක තියෙන හොඳට, but අපිට එන්නේ ඊට වඩා වෙනස් දෙයක්. So the quality is there again. And here you can see some pictures. Coca-Cola, Nestle, McDonald's, you know these brands. And automobile brands again. And whiskey brands is the liquors. And some social medias and internet, the network related brands. So we all know these brands, especially when we are going to select ready to eat food or a drink, then we know Coca-Cola is there, Pepsi is there. In Sri Lanka, Elephant House is there. So they are so reputed brands. And for fast foods, McDonald's, KFC, likewise, we know these brands. And if we are going to purchase a vehicle, if we have much money, then we are going. If we are going to buy these vehicles, in our parliament, you can see. Actually, we can't afford these brands, but if we have money, then our first selection will be this type of very popular brands. And sometimes when we are going to travel to another country, our ultimate target is to enter through the duty-free shops. For what? To buy a bottle of whiskey or wine or whatever the liquor brand. So when we are going to select such brand, this type of world famous brands are available. You all know Johnny Walker, Red Label, Black Label. It's very popular among almost all the countries. So, and the Google, Facebook, you know, I'm not going to explain. Apple. So why is that? Always they try to maintain their quality. That is the reality of their market. You know, as an example, in Apple, Our ultimate target is to buy an Apple phone, not in Sri Lanka, but in Singapore, Thailand, countries also. The ultimate target will be, it means when it comes to a mobile phone, the ultimate objective is to buy an Apple phone. So there are different brands, they are maintaining their quality. You know, the Mercedes-Benz, they are maintaining their quality. And the raw materials they use is very good. And here you can see the cumulative brand value of the 100 best global brands in 2019. In this slide also, you can see these are the very popular brands in the world. So we all know these brands, almost all the brands we may heard or we may, we know these brands. So what is the secret behind these brands? So we suppose that quality is there. So I'm going to give you the introduction. What is quality? If we type this word on Google, then you can see this definition. So you need not to remember these definitions. Google is there. So you can just type it and take the definition. So according to the Google Oxford Dictionary, you can see what is quality. Sorry, the standard of something when it is compared to other things, like it, how good or bad something is. So I suppose you can remember the examples I discussed with you. It is a comparison. We are going to compare something with other thing or with the standard, and we determine it is a high quality one or low quality one. So that is actually a comparison. So you can see Sinhala and Tamil translation here. I'm not sure whether it is correct or not, but Sinhala one, it is there are some confusions there. So ultimately, the quality is a comparison. We are going to compare our product or our service with standards or available food product or any product or any service. And then we can determine whether it is a quality product or not. So I think it's clear. And when it comes to quality, there are three pillars. If it is a high quality product or low quality product, there are three things. There are three critical things to discuss. The first very critical thing is the customer expectation. Or on the other hand, we can say it as customer satisfaction. And the second one is company requirements. Might be standards, company standards and company policies, and fulfill legal requirements, right? When it comes to quality, there are three pillars. The first and very critical one is to customer expectation. And the second one is company requirements. The third one is fulfill legal requirements. As an example, you are going to develop your own brand in this, in the faculty, SJP, Faculty of Technology. You are going to develop and hopefully you will have the paddy field next year, and within next couple of years you will have our paddy field. Then the AAT people, they can lead to cultivate any maybe a spicy brand. So suppose green chili they are going to cultivate in our land. And food people, then they can take the harvest and dry it and prepare dry chilies or dehydrated chilies. Then IBST people here, they can extract the active ingredient from that one, right? Then you all are going to do this project collaboratively, AAT Food and IBST. Now the ultimate, the end product will be whatever piperin or any active ingredient. They are going to extract this one and pack in bottles to export. So what are the quality requirements? Then you, before develop this product, you should have samples of specification received from your buyer. Suppose the USA company is there, called as ABC. The ABC company required the essential oil extracted from green chili, and they have developed their standards, right? It means they have their standards, and then based on their standards, we have to develop our standards, our company requirements, right? Then customer expectations mean what they need, their standards. So we are going to develop our own standards for the product, the moisture amount and the maturity indices, and at what stage we are going to take the harvest, and the manure, fertilizer, what type of fertilizers we can use, whether it is a organic or non-organic, inorganic. So likewise, we are going to develop our own standards. Then we have some legal requirements. As an example, we have customer regulations. We can't export food products without having their license. And we have Export Development Board regulations. And nowadays, in the country, we have some problems. We don't have any chemical fertilizers in the market, but we have in the black market, but in the markets, we don't have. And the government promotes to use organic fertilizer. So there are some legal requirements. So before starting this project, we have to think on that. The legal requirements are very important in maintaining quality. If not, we will have a product, so we have the business, but we can't go further with our business. So therefore, if it is a high quality product, and if we market our brand as a quality product or service, then you should understand, you should think on these three pillars. I think you got the point, right? And the consistency again is very important. Sometimes the Sri Lankan people, we start business, right? As I told you earlier, you are going to start a active ingredient extract export business, but the next batch, the 80 people don't like to work with IBST people sometimes. So then the business, what happened to the business? It's not properly worked. So consistency is not there. So if it is a business, the consistency is very important. So how to maintain the consistency, that is again belongs to the quality. If we have the standards, if we have high quality products and services, then there should be a consistency, right? I hope that you got the point. Then I'm going to move to a new part. It's quality management, new term. So quality management, you may hear this word, quality management systems. Likewise, there are different terms are available. In this term, there are two words, quality and management. So when it comes to quality, you know what is quality, you know the introduction, you know the three pillars of quality. And management also, you know what is management. Management is get things done through other people, the basic definition. And when you type this word on Google, you can get 100 of or maybe 1,000 of definitions. So the definitions are available, but together, the quality plus management together, what is the meaning? It's actually a system. That's why we call it as quality management system. So as we discussed about quality, so we have to, it is actually a comparison. So we have some samples, so we have some standard. So we have developed some methodologies. We have developed some technologies. We have some measurements and limits. So we have developed those things. And what we are going to do is, we have developed things, and in the process, we are going to follow the developed things. As an example, in the green chili example, the maturity time The maturity indices, you have determined it as the 3 months and 2 weeks. And the color is RGB, 3, 4, 3R. Likewise, you can write the colors. It's a measurement. So then we are going to measure the maturity indices in our cultivation and compare our one with the standard. So then we can determine the quality. So quality management is a vast, big, it means a vast area. So, and there are some different terms like procedures, standards, methods, technologies, measures, limits. Likewise, there are sets of words. Right? And some national and international parties have also been determined some common procedures. We will discuss these things later. I just wanted to explain you what is the meaning of quality management. Again, sometimes after completion of this 4-year degree, you are going to apply for a job. Then you can see the top job or any job related websites or newspaper. When you are seeking your jobs, you can see some posts. Quality assurance manager, we have vacancy for quality assurance manager. Sometimes you can see we have vacancy for quality control manager, right? There are different terms. So the both posts are related to quality department, but quality control and quality assurance. What are the differences in between these two words, right? Quality control. In this left side picture, you can see the orange color. Quality assurance is prevention. Quality control is detection. So I'm going to take example like this. When you, suppose you are going to buy a chocolate. Or a chocolate tag. That's the example. Then there is a banana peel. Then you have two options to take this and remove. And the other part is you can go out from this area. But both the outcome is same, similar, but there are two paths, right? When you are traveling, or if not, you can there are two methods, right? But the quality assurance means prevention. If you remove the banana peel, then there is no threat again. It is we call it as prevention. There is no more accidents. Accident that is prevention. Quality control means detection. You observe that one and you use the another method. That is about quality control, right? It is actually an example. I just use that one. So I think it will be a good example for to remember these two difference about these two terms. So quality controlling means detection. We can detect, we can observe some errors, and we can observe some positive points. But quality assurance means we are going to remove the threats. We are going to avoid the hazards. Then again, there is no error, similar error. There will not be errors. But in quality control, there will be errors. But now we are going to, for the present condition, no errors. In the right side picture, you can see quality assurance and quality control. inside the quality management. So quality management means that it is actually an entire process of quality controlling and quality assurance. You can't have quality control without first having quality management and quality assurance. So quality management is it's actually an entire process, but quality controlling and quality assurance are part of this process in this system. And quality control means we are going to detect something and take actions, but quality assurance means we are going to remove the threats and prevent something bad, right? We will discuss these things later. Quality controlling, as we discussed earlier, mainly focus on outputs, product oriented and observation, maybe output or service. It is a observation process. Actions for executing a plan process. We have a plan process and we are going to take action based on this plan. Based on the developed standards, methods, practices, limitations. As I told you earlier, we have developed our standards, we have developed our methods, we have developed our practices, and we have limitations and measures, and also we have some rules and regulations and standards. So we are going to follow these things. Quality control means we are not going to develop these things, right? Right? We are not going to develop under quality controlling. We have developed standards and methods, and we are going to follow these things, only following. Check whether the raw materials and outputs compatible with quality standards. We just compare this one. And identification of defects. Sometimes the temperature, our standard temperature in extraction process will be maybe around 74 degrees. But you mentioned as 74 degrees of Celsius in the document, but your quality control manager or executive, he is going to check the temperature with these standards. Sometimes the temperature may be 80 degrees. So then he or she is going to report to the quality assurance manager. Now the temperature has been increased. And identification of defects. There if it's a defect, so we can identify the defects. Verify your quality deliverables. Contributes for validation. Use statistical quality control. We are going to discuss about statistical quality control tools in this lecture series. So I hope that it's very clear about quality controlling. Quality controlling means we are going to work behind the developed standards and methods. We have developed methods and standards, then we are going to identify the defects, take the measurements and statistical quality control based on against the developed, pre-developed things. When it comes to quality assurance, what is quality assurance? It is actually a process-oriented one based on the entire process. As we discussed in the previous example, in the chili example, the process is there. Raw material purchasing is there, cultivation is there, processing is there, and packing is there, and delivery process is there, dispatch process is there. So we have responsibility up to the customer. A customer then we have the responsibility under quality assurance. But when it comes to quality control, it is based on the product, not only the entire process, right? QA is a set of planned and systematic activities implemented in a quality system with a view to fulfill the quality of the product or a service. And in this one, this is a planning process. Before starting the process, we are going to determine the hazards, defects, gaps, and also analyze the solutions. And finally find the solution, limitations, and preventive measures, preventing defects. So it means that before starting your business, then you can discuss with relevant people, and you can search literature, and you can do your own experiments and identify the hazards. අපි හදිසියෙම මේ මිරිස් ටික වෙලාවට කැඩුවේ නැත්නම් වෙන්න පුළුවන් hazards මොනවද? And defects, what are the defects? Pest attacks may be there, and overheating, high temperature issues, and gaps. What are the gaps? We will discuss these things, gaps, later. And gaps, what type of gaps? Gaps means problems. And analysis and analyze those solutions. There are some standard analysis methods. We will discuss these things and we will analyze. If we have an issue, if we have a hazard like this, then what type of solutions we have and how to control this type of hazards, possible gaps. Sometimes there may be a color failure. So then what we have to do is, so not color failure, power failure. So what we have to do is, so we should buy a generator. Likewise, we have to make our, we have to plan the process. And preventive actions. What are the preventive actions? As I said you earlier in the banana peel example. So you can develop a process. If you consume a banana, then you have to put the peel in this container. If you put it out of this container, this is the thing you have to do. Likewise, preventive actions. Then after implementation of preventive actions, the error, never happens. The error never will happen. So therefore, under the quality assurance, we are going to identify the process and then pre-analyze it. And we are going to determine the possible hazards, gaps, and defects, and determine the procedure to avoid these gaps, right? Then we can develop process, then we can develop standards, and sometimes already developed standards are there. So then we can take these standards and read it and implement in our process. Example, right? You can read it. In an ice cream processing factory, a QC manager, means quality control manager, may identify the number of defective ice creams or packs leaving from the production line per batch due to improper sealing. So improper sealing means we have identified improper sealing as a defect. So the quality control manager is going to get the count of improper the ice cream packs or containers with this issue. Then he or she will count the defective items, record in the system or write in the document, and then reject. Right? The quality control manager, what he or she is going to do is, company standards are there. As an example, 5% of improper sealing is okay. Maximum 5%. If it is exceeding up to 5, then we have to reject it. So the quality control manager is, this is actually example. He or she will count the defects and report to the system or the quality assurance manager, and he or she is going to reject it. If it is below 5, then he can accept. If it increases the 5%, then he or she is going to reject it. If the defects are reached to the considerable level decided by the company or any other responsible organization, the quality assurance manager will analyze the results, and then defects might measure and recommend improvements and preventive action. So now you can identify the roles in quality assurance manager. What he is doing, he is going to compare this number of defects with the standards. If it is increasing for 1 or 2, 3 batches, then he is going to recommend improvements and preventive actions. Sometimes there is an issue with the sealer. Sometimes there is a low voltage issue. So then what he or she has to do is take the preventive action. Then sometimes he or she may ask our electrician to measure the voltage every day. Then the defect, we can control that defect, right? But the issue is improper sealing, but the problem might be a totally different one, voltage issue. Then who is going to take the action? Quality assurance manager. And Our electrician is to work on that. So likewise, quality assurance is a total different thing than quality controlling. Any problem you can ask. I hope you got the point. If you have a problem, please ask. Okay. So now the time is 10:48. So it's time for a burger. I'm going to give you a burger. So you know that we can't prepare the burger without this top and bottom part. We can't create it, and we can't even eat it without having the top and bottom bun parts. Likewise, the quality assurance and quality controlling is very important. And the middle part, the meat one, it might be a crispy chicken burger. So you can see the brown color, crispy chicken part. Then it is called testing. So testing is again very important. So we can't prepare or we can't eat this bun, this burger without having bun part and without having this meat part. So likewise, the quality assurance, quality controlling and testing is very important and critical in quality management. And there are some other parts, product inspection, checklist and methodology development. But however, these three terms is very important. We will discuss the testing part in detail later. What I wanted to explain now is the difference between quality assurance and quality control and the importance of quality management. I hope that you got the point. Then the other term is total quality management. Now we have a term called total. You know the meaning of total. Quality management, you still you know what is quality management. Here you can see the total quality management. Give me 1 second, so I will share. This is not clear, so I will share another one. Look at this slide. So total quality management means, total means the entire process. Quality means degree of excellence of the product or service. Customer satisfaction through legal and ethical business, as we discussed in the 3 pillars. And management, it is, you can read. So as a sorry. So we can take it as an entire process. So total quality management, TQM, is a set of management practices throughout the organization geared to ensure the organization consistently meet or exceed the customer requirements. Nothing new. So the things we have discussed, it's the ultimate objective is to exceed the customer requirements. The total quality management is, you can read it. And in this picture, I have created this slide to give you an idea about all these terms. When it comes to, if it is a process, so there should be raw materials, processing line and output, right? Raw materials is there, processing line is here, and this is the output. You can see examples in green color. Milk, sugar, fat, flavors like raw materials we have. And ice cream processing factory, this is the processing line. And ice cream is the final product, right? Nothing new. And in this blue line, quality control, you can see the blue line, right? And then again, quality assurance, we have a red line here. We have red line here, right? In between these red and blue lines, you can see international standards. And you can see some examples, ISO standards and company standards and national standards. And also laws and regulations and internal audits and external audits. So here you can understand why quality control is important and why quality assurance is important. So when it comes to quality assurance, we have to pay our attention on the entire process, not only about the product, but in the quality control, we are going to pay our attention on the product or service. But in quality assurance, we have to have a good idea about the entire process. What are the laws and regulations available for this product, and how and what type of standards we have to follow. As I explained you earlier, you are going to develop a market, extract some some extracted items from Chile. So then what you have to do is you have to seek the standards available for green chili and green chili extract. What type of test you have to perform before exporting. So then there are some standards, and what are the quality standards you have to follow. So then you can ask these standards from Sri Lankan National Standards Body. It means SLSI, Sri Lankan Standards Institute. So you can now you can find the standards from the website of SLSI, and if not, you have to go to the SLSI library and get the relevant documents, or you may have some ISO standards. And based on these things, we can develop our company standards. So internal audits and external audits, the objective of those audits are to check whether we are doing our process, we develop our products according to these standards. Internal audit means we conduct these audits. The audits will be conducted by internal person. And external audits, it's outside parties, maybe SLSI, or maybe external auditors, or maybe specialists, so they can do these things, right? Then quality management system is the entire process. Okay, quality management system is this orange, yellowish orange color you can see, quality management. So for the today lecture, this is the summary. So you better to write this picture, and you can prefer this slide and develop this picture for your own product. Sometimes in IBST students, they have their own products, so they can develop their products. And 80 people, you can develop your own product or service, maybe a ecotourism one, how to develop, how you are going to market your place, service. And food people also, you have some idea. So then prepare this type of summary and check with this one, right? I hope that it's very easy and easily you can conduct. And in this umbrella also you can see what are the important parts of this umbrella. It's a quality management system. It's the entire one. And quality assurance, it's these parts of the metal parts of this umbrella. You can't prepare, you can't design this umbrella without having this part and this handle, quality control. So if it is a quality management system, it's actually a result of quality assurance and quality control. So this is a very good example for that one. And I hope that you got the point and it's very clear to you regarding the quality management. So today I'm going to wind up the session, and now it's time to ask your questions. So before that, I will summarize the things that we have discussed today. So in this aircraft, you can see the quality. Why quality is very important? Because after the takeoff process, it's very difficult to do corrections because we don't have workshops on air and we don't have technicians. So before that, we ready to several times we are going to check the quality with the standards. In this aircraft industry, they have predetermined quality parameters. So they have checked these things several times, and this is the final stage. So now you can understand if there is a trouble, mistakenly, if there is a trouble, then what happened? It's a very big loss. Likewise, in our industries also, we have to pay our attention on the quality. It is very, very important. Please take this photo to your brain. Please absorb this photo to your brain. Then you will be a very good technologist. Today, I would like to say this is the very, very important picture of this lecture. And you have to absorb the thing what I am saying here today, then it will change your life. So always think on quality. If you change one button, one single button without knowing, so then what happened? So therefore, the quality management is very critical, right? So that's the importance, and three pillars we have discussed the entire process of quality: customer satisfaction, satisfaction of company standards and requirements, and legal requirements. So quality management and the difference in between detection and prevention. It means quality assurance and quality controlling. You have very good idea about these things, and we have discussed some examples regarding the quality assurance and quality controlling. So we have discussed some examples regarding the quality assurance and quality control, and also quality management. So next week I'm going to start this lecture series with some statistical part. So you will have to take some examples and solve this example in order to the standard method. So I will give you very good and very important parameters regarding the quality management. So you need not to follow any diploma or certificate course after completion of this course module. So, but you have to do your homework very well. Okay, if you have questions, please ask. If not, we can wind up. Was it clear to you? Shamodi Tatsarani. Was it clear to you? Shamodi? Rimsa, was it clear? Any question?
Yes, sir, clear.
Right. How about Madhumali? 1846. Madhumali, BST 1846. Sandakalu, 1863. How about you? Sandakalu.
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. Then Dilisha Boteju, Terunada Kipueva. If you have questions,
Yes, sir.
Teruna.
Understand.
Quality author Pulani.
So can you upload this record to the LMS?
Definitely I will upload.
Okay.
Kalani Prabodhani. How about you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.